Hi, and welcome to Fuck Around and Get Paid, the podcast where fun, flow, and strategy meet to help you get paid for doing what you love. I'm your host, Jennifer Liss, and today we're going to talk about the science of joy first manifesting, why I'm so obsessed with joy as your strategy, because you can get what you want by doing less, my friend. And today we're going to talk about it. So let's dive in. I want to start this episode off with a story, a tale. Come with me, okay? Imagine with me. Imagine it is a hot summer day, toasty day. You are at home and you are so thirsty and there's nothing to drink. And so you know that there's a store up the way. And so you decide, well, I don't have a car, but I'm going to take this 5-mile trek uphill because I want to get something to drink and I know that there's a store up there. Okay. So you walk all the way up there. You are sweating. You are hot, but you walk into the store and you find the most delicious looking drinking water you have ever seen. There is just something about the pristine look of this delicious water. It's expensive, but you're like, you know what? I am so thirsty and I deserve this. This looks amazing. I have trekked all the way up this. So you grab 2 giant heavy jugs and you trek all the way back to your house after exchanging good money for this expensive, delicious water. You carry it all 5 miles back home. You get home, you crack open one of those bad boys and you drink it. It is good. It is so good. It just quenches your thirst. So good. But man, it was a lot of work. It was a lot of work. It cost you in every way. It cost you energy. It cost you time. It cost you money. But boy, you were delighting in it, right? A little while later, a friend comes over to see you and they see you drinking that water and they're like, oh, wow, that is some really good water. And you say, yeah, it is. I got it from the store up the hill. And they look at you like you're mad, like you've lost your mind. And they said, did you know that the creek right there in your backyard, that creek is the source of this water? They're literally pulling it directly out of that creek. They're not even filtering it. They're just putting it right into the jugs. It's right there. It's free. You walked all the way up the hill and you bought it. I was wondering when I saw you with the bottle, why you had the bottle when you can just drink it straight from the tap. And that's crazy, right? Like, and you're like, what? I had no idea. I did not know. And they just look at you like, how could you possibly not know? Well, this is the moment that I want you to sit with today. I really want you to sit with this because this is what most people are doing. Most of us, I will admit, we all do this, right? We're doing it with the thing that we desire the most. We are hiking uphill. We are walking on our knees for 1,000 miles, like the beautiful Mary Oliver would say, when the source is right here. The source of all that we desire is existing right here in this present moment. We can conjure it up. Joy, ease, love, lightness, aliveness, all of these things that we think the thing that we are going to have to go churn up the hill to go and get, it's already right here. And so we're going to dive into this today because I want you to understand what truly happens when you stop making this trek and just go drink from the creek that's already right here in your own backyard. You don't even actually have to go into your yard because it's right here in your own body. So the real thing that we are chasing is not the thing. It's not the bottle of water. It's not the thing that we are going to have to just go and try to get. Like, we think that we want more clients, more money, more success, the version of our business that we dream of, the version of our lives that we dream of. We think that we want to go live in that villa in Italy. And sure, like, those things are real. Those experiences would be absolutely amazing. I'm not dismissing any of that. but we really misunderstand the whole reason that we desire those things in the first place. I do have this vision of me. I say the villa in Italy because it is one of my manifestations that I dream into all of the time because of the way that it makes me feel. Because if I sat across from you right now and I said, what is that thing that you want? What is that thing that you desire? What is your version of the villa in Italy? What is that thing that you're just like, I just wish I had a house with a driveway. I just wish I had a house cleaner who would come and clean this damn house. Like that thing that you really, really, really want. If I said, why do you want that? You would not give me a number. You would not go give me the cost that you need to exchange to get it. You would not give me the trek up the hill. You would not say it's because of this thing. You would give me a feeling. You'd say, I want it because I'll feel free. I want it because I'll feel excited every day. I'll want it because wake up and feel alive in my work again. I want it because I'll feel like I'm finally enough. When people start showing up and coming into my offers, I'll feel like it's enough. I'll have this feeling of like what I want is actually mine. I'll have this feeling of certainty or the confidence. No, the truth is that we think that the thing is the thing because we get really confused about manifestation. The thing is never the thing. It's not the thing. It's you don't really actually care. Like, yes, it feels really good to put on this delicious lip gloss that I have. It makes this like nice tingly sensation in my lips. But it's not the lip gloss, it's the tingly sensation in my lips. And oh, what is that tingly sensation? Oh, it feels really good. So the feeling is good. That's actually what I'm seeking. I love things that make me feel good, which maybe happen to be a thing, but what you're really looking for is something different. And so we get this backwards. Why do we get this backwards? Well, all the reasons. There's the marketing reasons. There's the things that are just completely meant to turn us sideways on things and take us out of our power. But we really have learned to chase the object instead of the feeling. We learn that the feeling is what you get after you earn the thing. Not even just when you have the thing, but when you earn the thing. It's the earning. You have to go out, you have to work hard, you have to hit those numbers right on top of it, Rose. And then you finally, I will get to feel free. I'll get to relax. I'll finally feel like I'm worthy. Y'all feel me? We've all felt it, right? But it's like when I finally get enough clients, when I finally make enough money, then I can stop worrying. When I finally prove that I'm good enough, when I finally get then I'm going to feel confident. And we've all been running this equation. Like every single one of us has been running this equation. But the brutal truth about this chasing the thing, chasing the outcome, chasing that tangible thing is that it never actually surmounts to anything when we're chasing the thing. It's like the Olympians who say the day after I got the gold medal was the worst day of my life. I experienced the worst dip physically possible, because when we chase a thing and we think that that outcome is going to take us to the highest of highs, we have it completely wrong. It's actually the joy along the way that gets us to the highest of highs. And if you've been practicing this along that way, then when you get to that highest of high, you realize that this was not actually the thing I was seeking. It was all of this beauty along the way that got me to this moment. And yes, this feels really good, but this is not it. It was actually every moment along the way has been so good. And the greats, the people who we see as being successful, they really get this. They really get this. We have so many less. I'm not saying that you'll never have a dip again in your life and that the joy breaker is not real, that when you tap the edges of how much goodness you can handle when you hit that amazing thing, that you're never going to have an emotional dip the next day. Some of that is natural by process, by design. We can talk about that in later episodes about what happens in your nervous system after a big joyful expansion moment, because there is sometimes this like contraction that's very natural that happens. But again, if you're aware, it's not such a big deal because you know this is all part of the natural process. But the truth is that when we get that big thing, when we have that big moment, when you're actually standing on the villa, if you've been striving to get to that point, if you've been like just churning your way uphill, it does not actually often feel as good as it could feel, as we think that it's going to feel. Like you get the clients, you get like, I got the $10,000 month that I've been striving for, and you feel relief for a week, but then you get anxious about keeping them. You get anxious about having that money continue to roll in because the feeling you were chasing was always downstream of the next thing. And so then you've got to go directly back into the chasing. And so that's what happens with those Olympians too. They're like, oh, now I have to start from scratch. And they don't realize that every moment has been so delicious along the way. And this was just a culminating moment of deliciousness. And now I get to go have more deliciousness. That's different than I got to that culminating moment and now I've got to now I've got to do it again. Now I've got to make it happen again. So what if we have this completely backwards? I'm proposing that we do. And this is the coaching that I do. This is what we work on inside of the expansion room, because the feeling, I believe, is not the reward at the end of the hike. The feeling is the creek that is always there, that we can just be dipping from every single day. Joy is not the reward. It's the actual method. And we have forgotten this. And again, I actually love marketing, and I'm trained in marketing. It's something that I have done as a career, is marketing and advertising. I love the way that humans think, and how do we help humans think differently? How do we open up to new ideas? How do we, share things in ways that people will connect with? I love this kind of thing. I like talking about positioning and messaging and all of that. But when we don't realize that that's what's happening and it's just happening to us, we have been so pulled into all of it that we've gotten just really confused. We get really confused, and we think that that reward, that thing that we've been seeing in the commercials, is what I'm actually after. I'm after that car. No, girl, you're after the feeling when you're driving that car, and you get to drive that car. You get to have that car. But it's the feeling that you're going to have when you're driving it. And your way to actually get to that feeling is to start feeling that way now, because the physical manifestations of things happen downstream. So let's talk about joy for just a second, because I know that word can feel so fluffy. I'm always like, joy is your strategy. It feels like something that you have after the real work is done, or maybe like it's not that important, or, joy, whatever. But it is truly the most strategic thing that we can be leading with. It is the method, going out and dipping from that stream every single day and recognizing that we get to dip from it. We get to dip from it. We get to have all of the beautiful manifestations that come from continuing to dip from it. I've been listening to Abraham Hicks in the morning, and maybe you're a fan of Esther and Abraham Hicks. Maybe you've never heard of them, whatever. You can go down a rabbit hole of that if you want to. But essentially, she's a channel of this messaging that is very focused on the law of attraction and abundance, and just tapping into the infinite flow of possibilities and potentials. And I keep coming back to this thing that was said in one of her talks, that the whole point, the entire point of our experience here, is to turn thoughts into things and to have fun doing it, to not like arrive somewhere and then finally feel good once we have arrived, but to feel good right now. It was so fun for me. I went to Edinburgh last year in Scotland and saw Abraham Hicks, and man, the energy of that environment was so freaking cool. It's actually part of what inspired the expansion room and the work that we're doing in there. Cause I'm like, wow, that felt so good. And I just want a community full of that good feeling, so that we all recognize that feeling good now is the point, that letting the feeling come first is the point of attraction. When you just let yourself dip internally from that well of goodness, of like, oh, I can feel awe, I can feel wonder, I can feel joy in my body, I can experience it now, and recognizing that from that, the ripples of your energetic field actually manifest more of that. It's not the other way around. And I truly believe this. I've experimented with this, and we are experimenting with it inside the expansion room, which I'll get to in a minute. But when I actually started paying attention to this, when I started noticing that what I was putting out, the energy that I was moving from, when I was creating from stress, when I was creating from desperation, when I was creating from worry, when I was creating from guilt, when I was moving from that place, the content that I wrote reflected that. But the content that I wrote from a place of just tapping into awe and wonder and joy, and then turning around and writing, was completely different. It was full of life. It was exciting. It was the content that landed with people, but not landed with the people who I want to be in my community. But when I write from a place of stress, of that worry, that guilt, disappointment, if I write from that place, I might attract people to my social posts. I might attract people to those emails, but they're ultimately not necessarily the people who I want to be coming into the community. Not that they're bad, but that they're not full of life. They're not lit up. They're not excited about this fun energy, this joy first strategy. Those are the people. It's the people who are ready for that and want to do that with me, who I ultimately want to call in. So think about that for you, because here is what I truly believe now, is that the seasons where I was like grinding and white knuckling it and posting because I had to, because I was launching, and this is in my work for other people too, when I'm doing it behind the scenes for them, if we are moving from that energy because we have to, and not because we get to, and not because it feels good, and not because it's so fun and so free, because I'm hiking uphill carrying 2 jugs of water because I think that that's going to get me to the thing that I want, when the creek was just 10 feet away, that did not lead to the best outcomes, because I've just found your joy is not separate from your results. It is the actual energy that produces them, the frequency that you are operating at when you are full of life, and when you're doing the things that light you up, and when you're moving from a place of genuine like love, you become magnetic, and you're not chasing all of the things anymore. The right things actually just start finding you. And it's such a mind fuck, you guys. It really, really, really is. And so this is why we're testing something. We are testing something. We are doing this inside of the expansion room starting this week. We are going to find a hypothesis. Like, you know what? I've been doing it this way. I've been trying to manifest this. I've been trying to manifest that. I've been trying to work toward this. And, this has worked. Like, I've seen some progress, but this has not worked. I've not seen any progress here. And what if I just went straight to the source? What if I just felt alive and then moved from there? What if I just felt joy and then moved from there? And so I want to give this to you today, whether you come and you join this experiment with us inside the expansion room. We're calling this the possibility experiment. We're going to do it for 4 weeks, and we are each going to have our own hypothesis that we're going to test. Like, what if I notice all the ways that I've been trekking up the hill? What if instead I just go straight to the source? What happens? What will happen if I just go totally delulu for the salulu and believe that my energy actually creates everything? What's going to happen? Let's see. We're just going to test this, and we're going to see. But you don't have to come with us inside the expansion room. But if you want to, you can come with us. It's only $27 for 4 weeks of testing. And we're going to each launch our own experiment. And every day we're going to be checking in with ourselves. And then every week we'll check in with each other on it. And so it's going to be manifestation meets fun meets science. It's going to be, I'm telling myself, it's the best time we've ever had on the internet, just having a good time and forming some experiments together. So if you want to come, this is something that we're going to be doing. If not, I recommend that you do this for yourself. Just pose a question. So just a question to sit with. What is the feeling that you have actually been chasing? When I get blank, I will feel what? This is what I'll get when I feel that way. And so for the next month, again, whether you join us inside and you come and you do it with us and do this as part of the community or not, just check in with yourself and say, okay, what if I just felt light now? What if I move from that place? What will happen? What if I try it? And we're going to commit. We're going to set that petri dish and we're just going to watch it. We're going to commit. We're not going to introduce a whole bunch of different stuff. We're just going to keep doing it over and over and over and over. And 1 month from today, let's see what happens. So if you want to commit to this experiment, you can come with us. Go to jenliss.com/expansion. Come in. You can come into the expansion room for literally $27. You can do this experiment with us. Or you can join for the year and join all of our future experiments and all of the fun that we have in the expansion room for only $250. Saves you some money. And then you're committing yourself to coming and doing it. I'm so excited for those who are already in there, those who are doing it with us, because here's what I know is that truly this has changed everything for me. And it continues to change everything for me. In fact, this morning, I woke up in some resistance, in a feeling of disappointment. And Joey said to me, ooh, I'm noticing. See, your spouse will get in on this with you too, once they start to see the results of what happens when you switch it, because that's what Joey has seen is when I do it one way versus the other way. And so he's like, seems like you might be in a little bit of an energy. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to go take Alfred for a walk. I'm going to get into my energy of possibility and I'm going to move differently. And this entire day has been so much fun. I've had a freaking blast. I just recorded a fun Instagram reel. I just had all kinds of new ideas. I sent out an email. I sent out something else that I had been feeling resistant about. I'm telling you, this is the way, and this is how you fuck around and get paid, because every day truly does get to feel like play. So however you do it, if you want to come with us, come with us. If you want to do this on your own, do it on your own. But I would love to hear the results of your tests. Put on your lab coat for a month and let's dive in and see what the heck happens, my friend, when you put joy first and manifest that way. This is how you truly get what you want, by doing less and having a hell of a lot of fun along the way. If you enjoyed this episode, I would love to hear how much you enjoyed it. If you go to Apple Podcasts, scroll all the way down to the bottom, leave a review of this podcast. Y'all, that's the biggest, greatest gift that you could possibly give to a podcaster, is to go leave a review of their podcast. So if you would do that, it would absolutely mean the world to me. You could also share this podcast with a friend, and hell, come into the expansion room with us where we get to hang out and have a freaking blast all the time. And we'll get to do this experiment together. Regardless, I will see you in the next episode, my friend.